What's up, everyone? International Master and Champion of my street, Sladgie here on Twitch and Lichess. We are doing our subscriber stream. This is a stream I like to dedicate to the subscribers. So we focus on playing subscribers, doing game analysis with you guys, and just have some fun here on a Thursday night. We had a slow week last week, so hopefully this week will be better. We are accepting challenges, anything between 5 plus 3 and 7 plus 3. And hopefully things will go well here. If you guys have any suggestions for the subscriber stream, let me know. That's weird. There's something weird about my Lichess. That's weird. For the first second, I think it's not showing the streamers. When I click on it, we should be streaming. Maybe I don't have Lichess in the title. Let me check. Oh, it's on there. That's weird. There was King's Crusher streaming a minute ago, and his name disappeared from the list. Now I'm up. So I guess King Crusher went off, and I just went up. So I'll probably sub next week. That's not how it works. We are going to accept subscriber stream challenges from subscribers, and also we'll do some game analysis. After the simul, you can join. Yep. After what simul? You mean my simul? On Sunday? We are doing a simul on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. CET. Just logged on, guys. Just getting started. So I'm gonna wait till we get a couple subscribers in the house. Hopefully there's no St. Louis stuff going on. Last week that really hurt our stream. A lot of people viewing the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz extravaganza. So hopefully we'll get it working and have a good stream tonight. No challenges yet. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys for subscribing. I don't know where my subscribers are, but usually they're a little bit late to show up. It's just 7:02. I have a submission from one of our subscribers who, I don't know where he is actually. He may be on the way home from work or something, but I should wait until he gets here actually to do this game. I can show you guys a game I played recently from my own studies on Sunday. Twitch is a little bit weird. It's showing that there's nobody watching, but I know there's at least a couple of viewers. Can't refresh my Twitch page. Yes, I can. Alright, let's try again. So there was a game I played on Sunday I thought I could show you guys the opening of, which was interesting because it was my first ever. Where is this? Let me search for it. Let's search for Budapest. My first ever, that's last year's. Okay, my first ever Grunfeld reversed against the 2100 player. Hey, Gladys Troll, what's up? Mahmoud, we've got no subscribers in the house yet. Actually, Nefidov was on earlier, but he seems to be on the way home from work or something. But I don't know if this is the best time for a subscriber stream. We don't seem to be getting so many subscribers at this time, so I am taking suggestions for a different time for the subscriber stream. Maybe we'll do a different stream on Thursdays and switch it up if not enough subscribers can make it at this time. It's just an experimental phase. But I'll show you guys an opening I played the other day. It was my first ever time playing the Grunfeld with colors reversed, because in my past I had always played c4 when I tried to play the Reti, and I recently switched to playing g3 because I don't really like c4 d4. Now, oddly enough, this has been trending lately, this b4 line. There was a game the other day at the European Championship, the team championship. Several games. Rockport also had a game with this particular variation. But I don't understand what's wrong with f6 there. I mean, that's like the main line, and for some reason a couple of strong players have allowed this recently. But anyways, I had a game with g3, my first ever Grunfeld reversed. My opponent, like in previous games, had never played this move, that I had seen at least, and so I thought this was funny. We've got 16 viewers already, that's good. So I'm just sharing a game that I played in opening that I played on Sunday last week, my first ever reverse Grunfeld. And my opponent and I had been preparing for something like totally different. In previous games he had played this, like every time someone played this type of setup against him. And I was like, okay, it'll be some kind of, you know, like Reti or Neo-Catalan. And that's just strange that suddenly against me the guy plays something totally different. So he goes c5, and I've never played the reverse Grunfeld. It's actually an interesting variation here, d4, but I don't think it's very good. Knight c6, and my first ever one of these lines. And here my opponent played c takes d, which surprised me because it's, well, probably not the best move. You can try a sub for me. So I take back, I never saw you here before. It's good to have someone new. Or are you an old follower with a new name? Because you're talking to me like you're an old friend or something, but I don't remember if you've been on the stream before. Clash Kid 99, what's up? Hello. I just saw you can subscribe for someone else here on Twitch. Actually, that's what I take back just said. Okay, you can subscribe for someone else here on Twitch. I didn't understand what Takeback's comment really meant. Hey, Sultiga, what's up, you guys? We got a moderator in the house. Yeah, okay, I understand. You guys, now I understand. You're talking about this feature. You can subscribe for someone else. Why not? That's cool. You can buy gift subscriptions. Good idea for Christmas, right? Twitch is getting the Christmas gift possibilities. Alright, so this was a game I played, and I just wanted to share the opening part of the game. I never played this in my life, just tons of Blitz games recently, and so I played a few of these Catalans. Usually they take on c4, which seems like the critical line. Now queen a4 and blah blah blah, but my opponent here just took on d4, and in this position I already didn't know what I'm supposed to do, because it's tempting to take with a pawn, and it's also tempting to just take back like a normal Grunfeld style. And I was a little concerned about this line, like pawn takes pawn, knight takes, kind of killing the action. But there's some games like Blue Bomb versus Belia 2017. The Blue Bomb guy, he's playing for the German Olympic team. I mean, he's pretty good, so I guess he knows something, but I was concerned about this like ultra symmetrical type of position. So I just played like knight takes d4, bishop c5, and actually I played the variation the guy is playing against me with the white pieces against the Grunfeld. I literally played the same exact line with an extra tempo, but that extra tempo like totally changes the dynamics of the situation. I mean, here he's playing this aggressive move, bishop c5, with the tempo less. It shouldn't really be good, and I've had some blitz games here. But after knight b3, I remember some guy playing bishop b6 against me here on Lichess. My opponent plays the more sensible bishop to e7, and already I didn't know, like what the theory is here. My concern is that if I take on d5, it's like not very good. So I basically had to spend all my time like reinventing the wheel. In the opening, spending 30 minutes getting behind on the clock against some 2100, 2150 player. It's not really good, to get yourself in a hole, having to like learn the opening theory, teach yourself the theory of the opening. That's what I basically had to do here. So I played knight c3, he takes on c4, and there's like all these games with queen takes d8 check, bishop takes d8, we go into an ending with knight to d2. And now my opponent played knight a5. This is apparently all book. but I had to figure it out over the board. And here was the thing, like I wanted to play this move that the engine is suggesting here, b4. That was my plan, actually, going into this position. I was literally planning on playing b4. Then over the board I got scared that I didn't have enough compensation for the pawn after b4 takes en passant, a takes b. So I bailed out, and that's the question, like how much compensation do I have here? There's a Neverov game from 2016. C takes b, a takes b, and bishop d7 was played in that game, which looks like probably the best move. So I was afraid to go into this, and so I just played this semi-lame mainline move, which is knight b5, of course not knowing this has been played before. Castles, knight d6, and here I don't understand like why my opponent didn't play c3, because this is a really obvious move. I mean, you can play c3 and like destroy my pawn structure. I was a little concerned I would even be worse. I was concerned I might even be worse after c3. B takes c, and over the board I was afraid of knight to d5, but I missed. I mean, I think I actually saw this, but I was afraid of knight takes c3. Like here, knight takes c3, and it's funny. There's like a Nikolai Andrianov game from 1982. Actually, I met that guy. He was in the United States like 20 years ago. I don't know whatever happened to him, but man, this is amazing. Like how much of this is like already been played. And so my opponent played this move, which was like bad. But objectively, if black had played c3, I would have been without really like an advantage. It looks like b takes c, bishop e7 is equal for black. So I don't know. Just an interesting opening. My first time playing the Grunfeld. My opponent went wrong quickly after that, but I don't know. This opening is interesting. So something to just share with you guys. We've got a challenge from Abul Fazl, who's not a subscriber. If you guys are subscribers, you can play first. Clash Kid, if you have a game you want to suggest or submit, I'm open to playing some blitz, classical chess, anything between 5+3 and 8+3, no, 7+3 we're doing now. I cut out the 8+3 because they're like too time consuming. Nefedov, is Nefedov here? Nefedov, are you here? Because I won't do his game analysis till he shows up. Does anybody else have a submission for game analysis? If not, I'll play this game with Abu Fazl. But Abu Fazl, you should challenge me to 7+3, okay? Because the 8+3 I've done away with. It takes too long. I'll play Troll on a roll 5+5 chess 960. Abu Fazl, please re-challenge me to the 7-minute, because the 8-minute is taking too much time. We save a minute every game we eliminate. All right, I did play a chess 960 earlier today. My opponent was fairly low rated, not as strong as Troll on a roll. Actually higher rated, but weaker. Wasn't too difficult to beat the guy. Played some warm-up games today, but I don't know here. It's not really obvious how to set up my pieces. Chess 960 is okay. Oh, you did subscribe, Take Back. Wow, thanks, man. But Take Back, are you someone who's subscribed before, or are you just like a totally new viewer to the stream? Let me know. I don't know what to do here, Troll. I don't really. It's weird with the bishops in the center of the board. 2 bishops in the center of the board. I'm always channeling Emery Tate. Anyways, all right, let's just play e6. We miss Emery. He wasn't really a close friend of mine, but he was a character. All right, d4, e6. Chess 960 is fine. You can challenge me to anything between 5-3 and 7-3 in the chess 960. You can do 5+5. You can do 6+5, whatever you want. All right, so it's an Indian defense. This is a little bit of an odd opening. I have never had the starting position, I'm 100% sure. This is definitely something new. Chess 960 starting position. Knights are... I feel like I'm playing the Mexican defense if I play like knight to c6. But I am hitting his central pawn, huh? The Mexican defense in the chess 960. You're wasted on ecstasy. You're promoting drugs on my stream. The narcs should be notified that you're just saying that. I'm wasted on 2 sips of beer. Okay. Now seriously, B3. Why am I talking about B3? I don't know. I'm just going to establish the center here with D5. I don't know why I was saying B3. Something deep and difficult to understand. So Gladys Troll is a friend of the stream. He's a regular, you know, kind of supporter. He's not a subscriber, and I regret that he's not a subscriber. One day we'll like make him subscribe by force, but or someone else will subscribe for him. He'll find a rich billionaire to maybe Rex Sinkfield will subscribe for Troll and a Roll. I don't know. But anyways, we have a good score against Troll, but his strength is much greater than his showing against me here statistically. He can play good chess, he's just too slow. Kind of like me, but much worse in the slow department. I'm slow too, but not as dramatically so. Alright guys, trying to wake up here. It's been a long day. Gotta get my knights to the center. Knights before bishops, you all know that saying. You think Pragnanatha will get the GM title after the junior championship? He crushed another 2600. He was playing in Zalakaros here in June or May. When was it? May. He didn't look that dominant there. I played his little colleague, like the number 2 Indian player under 12, and drew against them. I don't remember the guy's name, the kid. But Pragnanathan, obviously, he's very high rated. I mean, probably, I don't know what he's up to now, but he was like 2480 when he was here. And he seemed like he was almost that good, or maybe that good. But I don't like the FIDE rating system with the high K factors. A lot of kids, particularly, are getting kind of inflated ratings. It will eventually work itself out, but I personally don't think that the K factor should ever be like 40. I think it just creates like really weird anomalies in the rating system. So it was fine the way it was. FIDE had to mess with it to try to get titles for people faster so they could make more money, basically. Okay, a good move from Troll. But Pragnanatha, anyway, he's a strong player. He's going to be a GM very soon. Okay, E4. Shall we take the pawn? Which pawn? Man, these ambulances in Budapest, I don't understand what's up with it. I'm going to take this pawn. This makes sense. If he pushes, I go 95 with good play. World Loser, what's up? So Pragnanatha was involved in a game here that was controversial in May, where Li Bo, apparently, this Chinese IM, he apparently like castled illegally. But the Indians like made a big deal about it, like after the fact. I mean, I guess the kid didn't call it, and so like, what's the problem? You know, they made a big scandal about it. Like, the dude just didn't realize like it was illegal to castle. You know, I thought like ChessBase did a really bad job of like over promoting the story and turning it into like a scandal. I mean, you know, it's easy to like just make a mistake over the board and make an illegal move. If your opponent doesn't call you on it, they don't call you on it. I mean, that's it. That's what happened. Like, so Pragnanathan didn't know what to do. Like, the dude just illegally castled, and then it has to be like allowed to remain. It was weird though. Like ChessBase India made a big scandal about it. It's absurd. All right, now knight a3, nice move from the 1600 Troll. Oh man, what am I gonna do? God. We need some control of the center or something. This is just getting super duper weird. I have strange ideas here for black, like a Catalan. I should probably castle, and so should Troll actually. The king on f1. What's up, guys? So Soltigo, good to have a mod in the house. World Loser, a former mod, and I want to thank I Take Back for subscribing. Take Back, did you challenge me or just after your simul? Are you giving a simul? I didn't understand. Are you giving a simul, playing in a simul, or talking about my simul on Sunday? So rook b8. We've got rook b8 and Catalan type of ideas. Holding on to my pawn with b5. But this isn't going to be that easy as I had hoped. I was hoping I'm going to be able to like win, excuse me, win the d4 pawn. But it looks like knight takes c4, b5, knight e3, b4, bishop d2, and the problem will be that I can't take on d4 because of queen c5 check. Now Troll went down a different line, and I think I should probably just play knight e5 here. We've got a really good outpost for the dog. I had a friend who used to call them dogs because some chess pieces look like dogs, but these are fairly horse-like. Sparkle Dog. If I was like gangster style, I'd change my name to Sparkle Dog. You're threatening my pawn on c4, which is not nice. I guess we hold on to that, and then there's this like really nasty check on b4. I could castle, but then I just lose the pawn, so I hope this works out. Very greedy looking, materialistic approach by me. I might change my mind and not go to d3. Dark squares are fairly weak. This is a weird game, man. Totally not normal chess. I don't like grabbing pawns. But Troll playing too conservatively. Alright. Still, fundamentally, his position seems good. He has superior center. Compensation for sacrificed pawn. He has the superior center. I think he has to just try to bust me with f4. I mean, what else is there here? Castles. Castles is okay. c5. That is getting really weird. I'm afraid my queenside is going to get broken into pieces pretty soon. It's like a Twilight Zone pawn structure. I never play like the semi-Slav or anything of that ilk. So this for me is a pretty weird pawn structure. He still hasn't castled. Knight d3 is a decoy, or do I retreat? He's got kind of strong attack against g7, which looks pretty scary, but he may have some tactical issues. Breaking up his center. Look at this. He's hanging a knight. Oh my god. He saw the threat. b4 and bishop e5 would have like skewered his queen to his king. So now he's like sacking a piece or something. Okay. We'll have to give it back probably. His nasty looking threats against my king's side. f5. Yeah, I'm definitely probably looking to give back some material here, but his bishop is running short of squares. Wow. want to drive him from the long diagonal. This is his last chance to sacrifice a piece on g7. Maybe he should. He did not pull the trigger. Okay. Well, now I should sack a piece myself. I'm up a piece, so that seems like a sensible thing to do, right? When any of you play in the Rapid and Blitz Championship, when is that, World Loser? Damn, Queen G4 is a stupid move. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just making random one-move attacks. Rook F4. But our position seems relatively stable. Now Queen G4. Oh, my C5 pawn is hanging. We can confuse troll with totally insane chaos in this game. Too much chaos for the troll. I don't know. I wonder if we were like seriously worse or what the deal was out of the opening. I really, like, my head is spinning and I have no idea what was going on in this game, like, objectively. The computer really likes white. He has better control of the center. Knight A3, Rook B8. Yeah, it looks like you should take here, troll. This is what I expected then. B5, knight, I guess, here. Computer likes knight A5. Knight E3, B4. Bishop E1. I thought this would have been fun. And I can't take on D4, so I probably castle. And then, well, the engine thinks I'm better anyway, so I don't know what you should do. Anyway, interesting game, man. That was fun. Okay, we'll play with our subscribers first. Ayeste Clash Kid, I take back. Sack it. What's up, guys? Blunder Boy. I just saw okay. Okay, I'm sorry, Blunder Boy. Did you ask something earlier? We're playing Blitz and Classical, and also I'm willing to do game analysis. Nefidov sent me a game to analyze. So if you guys have a game you want to go over, we can take a pause, take a break from the Blitz games, and go over some chess games here. Something outside the usual. You know, basically we're usually playing Blitz. We're usually playing Blitz and Classical chess here on my stream, but I want to offer you the alternative possibility of doing some analysis instead. Ayeste. I have a game on Sunday. I think I'll have the black pieces against some guy. So I haven't bothered to prepare for the game yet. I don't know if I'm going to be facing an E4 player or a D4 player or what. I should have done that today, but probably tomorrow. Ah. The bishop E5 check, yeah. Alright, I'm going to go back to my usual system, knight to C6. I had some success with Ayeste, playing bishop D7 and knight takes D7. He seems much better prepared for this variation, but that's alright. I want to go into it and see what he's got for me. Instead of E5, it's safer to play knight F6 in this line. Never been really that big a fan of like E5, to be honest, but it's playable for black. I mean, allowing E5. And I don't think bishop G4 is quite good, according to Kasparov. Alright, E5, D3, F5. That's the crazy way to play. We can also play the safe way, which is like knight F6. Basically, wait a minute now. He played D3. Okay, this is a weird move, D3. He's supposed to play c3. I think we had this game before, man. But if you're going to play d3, then I can play more ambitiously than I would in other lines. I had that line against some good players. Udasin, Dennis Breder from Germany. I think I beat Breder somehow, and I like drew with Udasin the c3 variation. But I lost to Zoltan Shikloshi. I think that was a game where I didn't play f5. What do you do about c4? Do you continue with d4 setup as black? I mean, c4 is its own opening. You can't just pretend it's like d4. You have to have a concrete repertoire if you're going to be a tournament player. c4 and knight f3 are individual and serious questions. I find knight f3 to be a little more annoying than c4 because it prevents e5. So on paper, you might argue like knight f3, whereas c4 allows e5. A lot of computers might even say that like equalizes for black. Knight f3 doesn't allow e5. And black's best move is theoretically d5. But I think that both moves, any serious player with black has to be very, very well prepared. Okay, so I think Ayesta, maybe like one of our first games ever, a year ago or whenever the heck he first joined my stream, was actually in this line. I don't think we can see that far back in the list here, but possible I even lost to him the first game. I can't remember. Eldon Music, thank you guys for subscribing. This is my way of saying thank you for subscribing. World Loser submitted a game to analyze. Nefidov as well. So he's playing, you know, I mean, d3 and c3 in rook e1, it's not as dynamic as like c3 and d4 bang bang, you know. You got to play probably more aggressively straight out of the gate with white. If I castle queen b3 check king h8, knight g5, it threatens the knight f7 and knight e6, and I've got to be careful about that. I could have like queen e8, knight e6, threatening stuff like knight c7. So let's see, castles queen b3, king h8, knight g5, queen e8, knight e6. I'm kind of in trouble on that move. Rook, where do I go? If I have to take on e6, then I have no advantage. But what should I do in the interim? Rook b8 might be a good move. Stopping queen b3. I guess we can try it. The Korchnoi lateral rook mobility. Korchnoi. I think that knight c4 is okay. Korchnoi was a player who liked to play the English opening, and obviously the Sicilian and the English opening they're the same thing with colors reversed. But this particular structure is one with white that's like a Botvinnik English type of thing, and Korchnoi was, well, he would use his rooks laterally very often. If my pawn were on a6, I could play something like rook a7 across. Here I can play rook b7, laterally maneuvering. I always think of Victor the Terrible. What do you think of f4? I think that it's not as good as the Dutch. Basically, when white plays d4, somehow f5 seems somewhat justified because white is weakened, like his control of e4 in a sense, or he's fighting for the dark squares, not for the white squares. But when you play f4, black hasn't made any moves yet. You know, he hasn't committed himself one way or the other. So theoretically, it seems to me like f4 is not as justified as playing like d4 f5. where black is countering with control of e4. We're just opening with f4. I mean, I play it sometimes for fun, but for example, like the Fromm's Gambit, I mean, immediately black gets an active game with 1 e5. And like the Fromm's Gambit is sort of sound, whereas like the Staunton Gambit is like barely sound. No, I think that the Dutch is better than 1f4, but 1f4, it's okay. If you're careful, you're probably not worse. You know, that would be like... But it's a, you know, if you like closed positions and stuff like that, if your opponent is bad in closed positions, maybe f4 is good. You have to like to play things like similar to the closed Sicilian or something like that. I mean, whenever I play f4 and black plays c5, the game... it always just transposes to a kind of closed Sicilian, for example. So if you're lucky, you get a reverse Dutch. But black doesn't have to allow it to become a reverse Dutch. Black has better ways of playing without d5 and c5. Maybe e5 immediately, for example. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the Dutch as... I mean, I don't like f4 as much as like the normal Dutch. Here, we're looking for kingside attack. If we ever close the center, he hammers us, you know, with d4. So basically, we're biding our time while trying to improve our position. This bishop is not really that good, obviously, but it could become strong along the long diagonal if black doesn't handle the situation right. I think after this game, I'm going to take a break and. You meant in this position f4. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like 1 f4. Anyway, it was a good discussion. But I don't... f4 for me. Yeah. Well, I was just talking about that. If I play f4, he breaks in the center with d4. And it's bad for me. And then I have to be careful. So it's, yeah, it's a matter of timing. It's like playing c5. Playing f4 for me here is like playing c5 in the... It's like playing c5 in the Slav or something like that. You have to time it. If I take pressure off his center, he can hammer me in the middle with d4. So closing the king side with f4, it can be good, but I mean, I have to be guaranteed to have a very strong king side attack like immediately, because if I don't, he's going to break through in the center to his advantage. Yeah, but it's an idea. I'm trying to increase the pressure without committing myself. Maybe we can get him to weaken his king side a little bit. Trying to connect my rooks. I was also thinking about knight h5, provoking weaknesses by inducing him to play like g3. He doesn't have a white square bishop, and his white squares are concretely going to be like the vulnerable complex, the color complex, where I'm going to try to attack. I have a white square bishop, he doesn't. Usually best to keep the tension. Yeah, this is true. Of course, you can't just like dogmatically apply principles. But in general, you're right about that. Alright, so we're just keeping the tension. Rook e8 is kind of a weird move in a way, I admit, because I can't move this anyway, so what is this really doing? But I don't know. The migration might not hurt. It might not hurt me to have a little bit of extra support, just in case the center opens up. Now probably, I was going to start thinking about directly attacking. All right, we need that white square bishop, and now I've succeeded. I've connected my rooks. This bishop can come back here. Bishops need like a lot of distance, and they shouldn't get in the way of the other pieces. We have two ways to pivot with a knight now, to d5 or to h5. Notice how our center, it's basically like a shield. It's doing a really great job here. This pawn shield. I've got knight h5, really looks strong. All the pieces are coordinated. But no breakthrough, huh? We should have a strong attack here. We're trying to induce some weaknesses in the white's position, but he's hanging on. Okay, that's really, really risky. Damn. We're all over him here. I also have D5, which will like unplug his knights. MTV unplugged. Like literally everything is protected. We just own the center. And we're gonna play, he just forgot. Like all the pieces just come in. Absolute domination of the G2 square. But how do I continue here? Whatever. Bishop is awkwardly trapped there. I feel like I've gone too far, but not really. He's sacking his queen. Huh. This is a little close for comfort. Whew. Damn, I guess that bishop he's gotta chill on B2. I wonder, he might have had something. Very well might have had something at one point. Still, I should have played this probably better. Still hanging on. Damn it. Bishop A3. Oh no. G5, bishop takes C5 was threatened. How does he keep finding all these moves? Good God. Just keeps finding moves no matter what I do. Literally has a defense to everything. Finally. Damn, dude. You had a defense to everything for like 100 moves in a row. That is crazy, man. Don't give up. Orlova chess. What's up, guys? Orlova chess. You're a chess streamer too, aren't you? All right, guys. We're doing a subscriber stream. We've got Clash Kid, I Take Back. Counterattacker is fairly new to the stream, hanging out for maybe the third or fourth time. I've seen counter... How is it again? Counterattack? Anyway, welcome guys. We've got Blitz and game analysis. I said I was going to do game analysis. Let's play one more game with Clash Kid, and then we'll go over a couple games together. Some people who are subscribers submitted some games to analyze, so I want to mix that in with the Blitz games. I just finished doing a video series on the Blumenfeld Gambit, so anyone that feels like playing the white side of the Blumenfeld, feel free. Nobody on Lichess like allows you to play the Blumenfeld Gambit. It's really strange. I'm just trying to think what I want to play against this. I had a game I wasn't happy with against the guy here a couple weeks ago. I think I played like c5 for some reason, which I don't normally do. I like to get a kind of Nimzovician, a classical Nimzovician sort of defense. I take back, yeah, there was nice tactical defense by my opponent. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to look over the game, but I felt like he just had one tactical trick after another in a position where it looked like he was like hopelessly down a ton of material. Basically, like, he was down like a rook for a queen or something, and he just managed to find like move and move and move, and I could have lost like at 5 different points. There was like this mating threat with the bishop if I try to win a piece. There were like there were Arabian mates with his like rook and knight and stuff, every kind of weird trap. So I asked to just didn't give up. Good D, but better not to get into a bad position in the first place. Defense is important, but Ayesta has to play that line more aggressively with an early c3 d4. All right, now I don't know this variation. If it's a variation, it's not that common. I guess I'm just supposed to play knight e4 here. It seems a little strange to play knight e4 with white having a fianchetto. But isn't this just a Queen's Indian, basically? I guess it's just a Queen's Indian where I'm like, I'm not castle, but he's castle. He's not castle either. Why is this position so strange? Well, it's not a Queen's Indian because my bishop's on b4. It's actually a Nimzo, so that's why it's strange. I can double his pawns, but he gets a big pawn center. I'm not sure actually I like this that much. Alright, I don't know, guys. You have your own interpretation of d4. Clash Kid plays e4 most of the time. So this is a guy who's being creative, basically, making up the theory on his own. Yeah. I'm going to take my time here. It's a pretty long time control. Want to just kind of get some more beer in the system. This is probably the only one of the stream. Alright guys, sorry. I'm messing up the windows in the stream. So Queen c2, I don't know what to do. Bishop takes c3 and like Queen c8 feels like an option. Defending my bishop on b7. It's a little bit slow. What other options do I have here? Taking on c3, doubling his pawns, but like losing control of e4. I guess I can play f5, weakening my king side a little bit. It's basically a form of Dutch after that. Alright, let's just play this. This is a move. I should probably play bishop takes c3 check and then queen c8, although I still don't like my position that much. This looks a little dubious for black. Mildly dubious. He can play bishop d2. He'll have to lose a tempo, like knight takes d2, if he wants to stop the doubled pawns. But probably he shouldn't and won't. You know, bother to waste time on something like bishop d2. He'll just castle. Then I'll take with the bishop on c3 and decide what to do. If I exchange on c3 unprovoked, white always has things like bishop a3. They obviously wouldn't have an a same-ish Nimzo type of thing. That square usually makes a little bit of benefit, you know, for white having bishop a3 on this diagonal. It can help him undouble his pawns. It can just be like kind of irritating. So a3 I think is a weak move. White should play castles here. And queen c8 is slow, obviously, but it is a Queen's Indian idea. Now if I castle, I don't see anything wrong with castling. I mean, if I didn't have the queen on c8, I'd be like losing to knight to g5 right now. But that's the point. By defending my bishop on b7, he doesn't have these kind of tricks. But I still feel like I misplayed this. Probably castles is seriously inaccurate. I guess I can still play f5 if I have to. Knight e5, f5, f3. Knight e5, f5, f3, knight f6, e4, d6, knight d3. It's like a weird Dutch. White should be a little bit better. Second, you're always playing f4 or f5, and you're right. No, f5 is definitely a way to play. Maybe it was better than what I did. I don't know. This looks a little too passive for black, honestly. Alright. So I'm going to do the game analysis after this. We're going to take a break with the Blitz and analyze a couple games. I had a game from one of our subscribers, Nefidov, and also World Loser sent us one. So we'll take a break to take those out and take a look. Guys, I have a simul on Sunday. I do at 6:30 p.m. CET here, Central European time on Twitch. Also Friday, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be playing more Blitz and Classical Chess, 10 a.m. in the morning. And usually I play my best. I play my best in the morning. I used to play poker in the morning, a lot of sit and goes and stuff like that. I usually feel like my brain functions best in the AM. I mean, that's why I'm playing well in like Hungarian team championship games and stuff. In the last year, I have more energy and I'm fresher in the morning. So these morning games, like in the team championship, are really good for me. If you're not out late like partying, you can play chess in the morning. There were times when I would show up at the board with a hangover, and in those cases, it doesn't matter if it's 3 in the afternoon or the morning. But alright, Clash Kid is just trading pieces here, which should be good for us. Basically has a static weakness, double pawns. So it's not the only feature of the position, but these things are magnified as the position gets like more simplified, I think. That c4 pawn looks pretty weak. I think we can just focus and zone right in on it right now. Queen a6 is good immediately. And he's going to have some issues. International Master Ron Burnett, who's an American IM. He's a very Nimzovichian style player. Loves to play the Nimzo with black. Ronald is very good in positions like this. Playing against double pawns, static features. Just popped in my head as I was playing this position. This looks like a Ronald position. I mean, he just loves these structures, but I've got to admit my move order might have been bad. It might have been a bad move order. I'm not sure. If I had played knight c6 immediately, maybe that was more accurate. Yeah, it's sort of irritating. Now queen b5, queen b7. I might have to reorganize myself. Still, I like black, but c5 is not really good. I mean, he's still going to have a destroyed structure no matter what he does. Actually, now it's too late for c5. His only move is like, well, he can wait, I guess. Yeah, I'm not really threatening knight a5 right away, but I will be threatening it eventually. I also have d5. Another player who comes to mind is Konstantin Chernyshov, the Russian GM. He's this looks like one of his Queen's Indian specials. I could even take here and stick my knight on c4 and be better, but it's not really convincing. I'm gonna go with the fianchettoed queen instead. Maybe we play just like d5. I don't know though. He has this e4. Which gives him some play. Not doing it right away. Okay, so d5, pawn takes pawn. That's the problem. I really don't want to do that. So we'll kick him off of b5 and probably play d5 and just have like a structural advantage. Try to turn it into the French defense, basically. It's a French defense now. Clash Kid defending really admirably. He can do c5 in this position, and I'm not sure if I really have an advantage or not. I mean, it feels like I'd rather be black. Okay, I'd rather be black. I have an advantage, but it's not that clear as I would have liked it to be with this Alekhine's defense type of knight here. We are in charge in this position, but it's still not that simple. Where am I playing? On the queen side, on the king side, in the center? I don't know. And my plan keeps changing like every minute. I can't predict any of his moves, which is the usual with this opponent. Basically, Clash Kid, he's always coming up with, kind of like Soltigo, another one of our viewers. The Rogozin is good, Roan, as far as I know. I mean, that's an opening that that has really grown in recent years. Oh man, sigh. This guy, like, no matter what I do, he has some kind of tricks or something. He's gonna play e4 at some point. It's just not that easy for me. Alright. I'm out of there. I'm threatening to take on c5 and mash his pawn structure. Maybe we can play f6 and e5 and start playing on the white squares. Try something on the king side. I don't know. This is a weird game. Very strong knight, but the plan is not so simple. I don't want to give him like the B file. He made a concession now. I think this is good for me. He just gave me pressure. He didn't have to do that. He probably was better off like sacking a pawn. Now it looks like I've got very, very strong pressure against the A pawn. That's basically going to tie him down decisively. We can actually triple on the A file. Because there's no rush. There's no threat. I mean, no threat. I'm just going to take his A pawn. Just make a calm move. Okay. Now, theoretically, if I were to play F6 or something, well, you're resigning a tiny bit prematurely. Your queen isn't trapped because of queen here. So, I think the resignation is a bit inappropriate, but he's still like positionally lost. I was concerned about h6 pawn takes pawn, but I guess well, here I'm not trapping his queen anymore. Basically, it's a very bad position for white though strategically. I didn't like the take. We lost one of our challenges. Let's go to the game analysis. So Nefyadov, one of our regular subscribers. Hey Mule Skinner, what's up? Thanks guys for turning out for the subscriber stream this week. Last week there was a lot going on, didn't go so well. Nefyadov is playing black in the following game. This is from his league game. No, Nefyadov is playing the other game. I'm sorry. So this is his league game, where Pavel is black again. He gets black every round, basically. Okay, so d4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, c4. You know, I had a student who showed me a game yesterday, and they were like not expecting their opponent to play c4. It is funny, like sometimes you think that, okay, people who are going to play c4 are going to play it on move 2, and if they don't play c4 on move 2, then they're going to play some kind of harmless London system, or you know, Tory attack or something, and or Colley system. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people, maybe they're comfortable against like g6 type formations, but not as comfortable against like e6 or vice versa. So they may like play c4 only against g6. That's the second time I've seen that instance in 2 days, where white plays a delayed c4. So Nefyadov is playing either the Grunfeld or the King's Indian. He plays knight c3 and then d6. Okay, fine. Nothing wrong with castles either. d6, bishop g5. Now, this variation is one of my favorite lines for white, so no excuse here for Nefyadov, who he should have seen me, you know, well, actually playing more with the white pieces, but I'm sure I've discussed this before. Black's best approaches are really either the Benoni type of setups, or I also like okay, queen d2 is a weird move. After e3, I like c6, a6, and b5 type setups, and I like c5. Those two are the best. But your opponent played queen d2 here, which is, this is weird. I mean, it's not a real variation. It looks like we got some games. The Mamedyarov has played this on 4 occasions, 4 occasions, playing it twice against Bakro. We'll call it the Mamedyarov variation, just something he made up, basically. Objectively, it doesn't seem... I've tried this kind of thing with white, you know, and it just doesn't seem like a big deal. It's like you're trying to do the Barry attack or something, but you've played c4, so your attack on the king's side with stuff like bishop h6 is not as serious. The only reason if Mamedyarov won some games here is because he's Mamedyarov, not because this is like a dangerous line. It looks like bishop f5 is a solid move. You can always play c5, and basically against bishop g5 type lines, you don't really want to play with e5 type of setups. That would be my advice. This is Nefyadov versus Pepe, S. Pepe, from the Middlesex League versus Hendon 3. Nefyadov is black, and I'm just talking about this queen d2. So this is a rare move that apparently only Mamedyarov has played. I would think that c5 would be fine, and yeah, bishop f5. But on another side note, Nefyadov, if you are willing to play the King's Indian, you can also play castles. This can actually be effective because you don't have to waste a move on d6 to get in c5. If you play castles instead of d6, I think you can play more aggressively against these bishop g5, bishop f4 type of lines by just banging out the c5 right away. Like, basically, that's better. You don't even waste the move on d6. I think it's a little bit more aggressive for black not to even bother. And there's really no drawback. Normally you're castling no matter what in a King's Indian, so kingside. So I don't see any drawbacks in castling over like d6. Even in the main line, like Fischer would allow e5. Fisher Letelier, Fisher from My 60 Memorable Games, even with e4, like it's not necessary to play d6. I think more, dynamic to not even put the d6 move out there, but that's just a minor thing. Let's see. So queen d2, c5 is good, and d5. I mean, this is the idea. Anything else would be kind of lame. And then this move I don't like. Hebden did something like this, computer suggesting against me. In a similar position, Mark Hebden played queen b6 against me, but that was different. My queen wasn't on d2. I don't think it makes as much sense here with the b2 pawn already protected. So it looks like you should play e6. Basically, the only other plan, is gone. I mean, the h6, g5 type of line is gone. Another point you might consider is playing h6, dude. It probably wouldn't hurt you to play h6 right away. That actually is more common. There are occasional players who play like this, but it's very unusual. So you might as well play like h6, bishop h4. But anyway, here we are. Okay, that's fine, but you can't do a6. a6 is kind of slow, and it's inflexible. But it's still not that bad. All right, a4. This is simply a bit weird. I don't really like putting the queen on a5. And why don't we just play e6 here? That seems more to the point. Just e6, turning into a Benoni. Okay, queen a5. And now black can play b5, which looks like a good move. See, he's supposed to play rook a3, I guess, in this position. But it might not be good. If this move is good for black, and your queen doesn't get trapped, maybe your position is actually decent. So, but in any case, like, you need to play b5 now, and you turn it into a benko, basically, like c takes b, and just take back, I would think. As long as white can't play a takes b, it looks like black has a good benko. You actually have the shot here. Knight takes e4, knight takes e4, queen takes b5. Oh no. If a takes b5, rook a1, you take all the rooks. And you have rook e8 now. How's that for fun? That looks fun. I don't know, fun variation. Yeah, I mean, I like b5. If you can get in b5 and white hasn't played rook a3 to stop b5, you should play b5. There's one game here and black actually didn't play b5. This is the best move by far. So rook e8 is too slow. Now white suddenly has what looks like a good Benoni. Yeah, this just isn't working anymore. This was an excellent move by your opponent, and like an outside the box type of move. Though he didn't have a lot of squares. You still have b5. Now it looks like he's out of the woods. He just, like, you have no counterplay. You have no knight. You can't play b5. Your knight can't move to a6 because you played a6. Your knight can't go to d7. It's just a good position for white. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare Benoni now. And Nefedov, this looks like something my friend Emil Salanci would do, like a knight h6 Benoni. It's not good for black, but you're still, hanging in there. This is really bad. But white has to be a strong player to exploit it. Here is not necessary. You just play here. I feel like he shouldn't exchange on e5, but yet he still has the advantage. I did this once against Vadim Milov, where like I exchanged his bishop on g7 with my good bishop. It doesn't make sense. It brings back bad memories every time I see someone do this. It's absolutely incorrect. You're trading my worst piece off, white. So after that, Nefedov just barely hangs on. Like, he's almost lost even here. But he manages to trade pieces and like take over the dark squares, and everything's okay. And he luckily, like, look at this. White could even play knight b5 here, I thought. So this was very fortunate. White just kind of melted down in what was a very, very good position. He ended up losing. So, Anna, what's up? Alright, the sexiest girl on our stream, Ananas. So anyway, Nefedov, I think yeah, I think this was just a lot of mistakes in the opening. You were lucky to win this game. Let's play a blitz game, then we'll go back to World Loser. I'm gonna play I Take Back. I Take Back. You're not provisional, are you? You played 100 games. I Take Back played exactly 100 games. He created this account just to play on my stream. It's Chess 960. Because recently I said I don't want to play people who have like less than 100 games. Alright. I used to make it 50, but it's just too easy to play 50 now. Ultra Bullet games don't count. Yeah, Nefedov ended up winning the game, but it's just, we spent a lot of time, so I don't want to spend the whole stream going over one game. He won. He was winning, like, at the end. Like, when I stopped, he was up 2 pawns for nothing. Something like that. It was really bad. He just totally crushed the guy at the end, but it was pretty trivial at that point. But Nefedov's early play was bad, and he was very fortunate to win. So, I Take Back. Thanks for subscribing. We're going to play hyper modern style. You left ICC and joined Lichess. Good idea. Better late than never. Thought I Take Back was somewhat regular names. Familiar? No. No, totally new. So, alright, G3, Knight C6, the closed English. It is kind of Englishy or closed Sicilian-y type of position. But I can also play just like D4. That looks like a strong move. Countering in the center. Uh-oh, be careful with the C2. This not your typical position there. Symmetry, except for the fact that it's not. I can't get over my king's position, kind of weird. Also, strange to get my queen out here. Very hard to get my queen out in this game. I'm just going to play a slow move, just to cut out knight b4. I don't like that. Coming down on c4 at any moment. He's got pressure on my Doug the D pawn. Looks very good so far for black. I Take Back. What's your rating? 1951 Blitz, 1967 Classical. Hey Bob, what's up? Hey, I was thinking about Queen H3. Taking a page out of my thought process there with Queen H6. Maybe we just ought to He's actually threatening to snipe a pawn here. Just occurred to me. My quick-witted tactical calculation sensed my spider senses. Felt the tactic coming on. Okay, he can win a pawn, but he's gonna have to like roll up into a ball to take it with his queen on g7. All right. He could easily lose the initiative if he tries to take this pawn against us. Actually, bishop takes d5. I shouldn't say anything. I can't help it. It's like I'm just used to commentating, and I just give away like good ideas, like queen takes h2, bishop takes d5. Right. All right. So it's gonna get a little locked up here. Lock him up. What a world we live in. All right. Bishop f6. Now h4. Got the initiative on the king side, but black is okay. We got a knight on a good square. Maybe I should play knight d2 now to keep him off of e4. All right. This is a weird, a weird looking position. It's like we're kind of like all over the place. The king side, the queen side, in the middle. We're playing the whole board basically. So guys, thank you for tuning in. We've got 36 viewers. Usually the subscriber stream, you know, I'm just doing this to really reward all the subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing. We're not playing too much with the guests because we usually don't have time. If there's no challenges from subscribers, I might, you know, throw in a couple games with the guests, and that's cool. But we'll see. But don't be hurt if like I don't play with you guys who are not subscribers, because this is like once a week I do this stream to reward the people who do subscribe, especially. So please don't take it personally if I don't play random challengers to the stream. All right, 92. So Bob, what's up, guys? Tomorrow morning I'm doing more Blitz and Classical Chess here on Lead Chess. Sunday Simul. It will be a tournament day for me. I've got team game in the morning, so I'm going to be doing a 30-30 Simul on Lead Chess at 6:30 p.m. Sunday, the 19th, I guess that is, coming up soon. Taking credit for the idea. Elden Music, I have done that on a couple of occasions, like purposely told people like bad moves. It's getting kind of hot in my office here. We'll open the hatch. So black castled into my massive attack. The unstoppable attack coming toward him. I can't castle kingside, but I can. Alright, for a second I was trying to remember like Li Bo, if I had castled or not. There's no rush here though. I want to control the center. We have harmonious pieces. And I think next in line is castling. Although we could castle queenside, that looks more dangerous. I think we're going to try to castle kingside if we castle anywhere. But black has some plans too, it looks like. He's got to move his knight and try to play like c5. It looks like he's aiming for... Fortunately, he's aiming for bishop a6 now, which I don't really like. Alright. It's turned into kind of a normal double fianchetto type of Kramnik style thing. We're stopping bishop a6. We have massive threats. Not really, I'm just kidding. We could almost trap his queen though, which is kind of funkadelic. The dark squared bishop, it's interesting. I can play like knight g4, queen g7 and take his dark squared bishop, but I don't know, my knight on e5 is so strong. Do I really want to do that? It's not that clear. I have some strange ideas. To play h5. And I'm not castling, I'm attacking down the H file. I was talking about a massive attack here. That's about all I've got. Real men castle long. Real men. Real men know when to not commit suicide. Castling long is like castling right into like a pawn attack down the C file. It's actually a really bad idea, I think. But whatever floats your boat, man. You can play like Yubava if you want. It's the Yubava rapport. See Karyakin versus Adams, London system, 2016. For like inappropriate queenside castling. I think I'll just not castle at all, you know, at the moment. I mean, most of my pieces are working, so. He can take on h5. My next move is rook h1. I think he should play c5 here, but then no, he can't because I take on f6 and take on c5. Yeah, it's kind of an awkward spot for black now. What to do? Well, he got himself into an awkward situation with the queen and bishop here. The bishop doesn't really belong on f6. Now you ask yourself, oh, now we can bury him. Welcome to wherever you are. It's like, hello, Mr. King. Nice queen on h8. Nigel Short had a similar queen last year in a game against Suthraman, one of my former vanquishers. You're never completely dead with your king there. King on f6. That's got to be good. Try to break through. Still no knockout here. I guess I'm just banking on my space advantage now. Oh, he just lost a piece. Alright. Well, yeah, he's in a pretty bad way here. But it's not resignable. Alright guys, let's go back to our World Loser game. Our other submission for analysis. I'm gonna be streaming for like another hour if I can stay awake, guys. Okay, so our former moderator and one of our regular sponsors, one of our regular viewers here, World Loser. He's playing white, and oh, it's a game from our own tournament on Tuesday. By the way, Tuesdays we have a viewer tournament. I think this week we'll do, we'll probably be doing like 7+2. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. CET here on Lee Chess. It's World Loser against Ayesta. It's an entertaining looking graph there. Lots of peaks and valleys. World Loser finishing strong. I think he has some kind of rivalry going on with Ayesta. I don't know. The King's Gambit with d6. This is a passive answer. So it's playable, but passive, obviously. So we transpose back to a normal King's Gambit. What is this? Fischer variation? It's a Fischer variation. Takes knight f3, d6. Which Bobby claimed was the best for black. I'm not sure if that's still considered to be true. Okay, so d4, queen e7. You just kind of like, what? What the heck is queen e7? I'm getting the feeling that Ayesta doesn't normally play the black side of the King's Gambit. Yeah, so you have to play g5 here. And Fischer would play setups where you can play a quick bishop g7. Basically try to get a kind of King's Indian type of formation for black. I guess that's what Fischer liked about it. So you got a little more stability than in the main line of the King's Gambit, with like immediately playing g5 or whatever. Queen e7 is just a very, very incorrect move by general principles. Of course, it's interfering with black's development. Maybe he just wanted to take World Loser out of prep. So f5. I guess here now I would play like knight, I don't know, c6 or something to stop knight to d5. f5, e5, and g5. Not that easy or obvious, like how to refute black's position. You could even do something crazy like knight to d5 and knight takes g5. Queen takes g5, knight takes c7 check. I'm not sure if that's sound. He played bishop c4. I was curious about this. I didn't see queen g7, queen f7, queen g7. Rather than the passive queen d8, black can go here. Which is pretty cool. So if you take here, black doesn't even have to take it. Like maybe he could take on e5. Doesn't look good though. This was the key position that I was curious about though. I mean, what would happen in this sort of situation? You know, what's the evaluation in this sort of situation? It's really crazy. We don't even need to get the knight back, and we have enough material for the sacrificed pieces. So white, I guess white, you know, is better because there's a chance that knight could come out alive. But anyway, it would be fun to play that variation. Instead, World Loser just develops a piece here with bishop c4, which isn't bad, of course. You know, if g4, I guess he's got knight d5, and he's going to sacrifice a piece for like an overwhelming attack. So black needs to develop here. You know, where's the development? He's trying now, but that just looks like a blunder. He's just blundered. I mean, what can you do here? c6, trying to keep the d5 square under control. That's it. After c6 castles, it's certainly a crazy game. I mean, I would rather be white, I guess, but you could close it up. And if g4, white can consider sacrificing a piece, I would imagine. For example, here, you play like Kieseritzky style with like bishop takes f4 and have compensation. I mean, definitely Steinitz would play this in like a blitz game for sure. Or you can be like, you know, more circumspect and save your knight and probably have like a winning position anyways. So a little too creative by Ayeste. Here he just blunders, but yeah, it's hard to say. World Loser playing too fast. I mean, you should just like take and take. And then I guess he saw this, maybe didn't like it, but white's just up too many things after bishop takes f4. It looks like two pawns. Are we going to lose the g2 pawn? No, it's just too much development. If you take on g2, I mean, white's got everything here. Damn. This is like a nightmare for black. Zero development, game over. So, World Loser makes it a little more complicated than he has to, it looks like. I would just take on e6. Going back, sorry, going back d5. He just gets this like wedge pawn down there, so it's going to take a while to open up the game now. Played queen d4. This looks like a blunder. He forgot black could play bishop g7, whereas h4 would just bust black's structure. So h4, g4, h5 maybe, or you can just move your knight and black starts to fall apart. It looks like World Loser. Just the standard King's Indian break. What if he had gone bishop h5 actually? I wonder why Este didn't do that. That's got to be about this pawn. Still, it's like an awful position for black. Okay, so it gets kind of murky, and now suddenly Wow, black is actually better after this. He's up a pawn on the king side, and this blockade of the e6 pawn. White suddenly doesn't have anything. How about king f8 here? Is that safer? It's difficult to say. I mean, I think that both squares are not safe. You know? So I don't know, it's hard to pick like which is better. It almost feels like the king is safer on f8, but then we remember it's like the king's gambit, and the f file could blast open or something, so it's a tough call. It's a really insane position. The engine might claim that white is better by, or black is better by a pawn here, but it's a really irrational position, honestly. And World Loser playing a strange move now, queen c4. Well, actually, where's he supposed to go? Yeah, okay. He doesn't have to play queen c4 though. Maybe like a4, giving himself more space, or just b4. He's afraid of b4. Oh, his queen is attacked. He has to move the queen. Okay, sorry. I thought there was a reason for that. But it is a bit weird to cut off your own bishop, so queen e2 maybe would be a bit more natural. a6. And now he's going to have to sacrifice a piece. And it's not really enough, it looks like, but black anyway is like pretty inconvenienced here at the moment. So this little inaccuracy. He played knight f6 and white could take on g5. I wonder if World Loser considered that. He was too tempted by the immediate threat. This is strong, threatening knight c6. Man, there are a lot of inaccuracies. It's like 100 inaccuracies, but that's normal for the King's Gambit guys. I mean, it's not that you guys necessarily played an awful game, but in super sharp openings, in Blitz, I mean, they're going to be like a lot higher pawn, you know, center pawn loss than in a quiet opening. In the King's Gambit, it's normal for a Grandmaster to have like, I think it's normal for a Grandmaster to have like 50 like center pawn loss in an opening like this, unless they're like an expert in the King's Gambit. So it was really, evidently you missed something here. World Loser has like a family fork on c6, and so he can just go bishop a4 with like unstoppable knight to c6. I would imagine black could play rook b6 and just chop it off, but he's down a ton of material, facing mate as well on a8. Ouch. No castling. Damn. Black has to play queen e8 not to get mated here. Losing the queen. That's insane. So it's over. This was just a game from our 5-2 Blitz tournament on Tuesday night. This is the end? No, this is not the end, because World Loser did not find bishop a4. He played a4. And the craziness continues. Now bishop b5 with the same idea. He's now focused on moving this pawn, and World Loser is still winning, but it's pretty murky. Ayesta finally faces the idea of knight c6, and he's basically like getting mated now, and resigns. All right, man, crazy game. You know, you really expect me to analyze that game, guys? All right, no other submissions for analysis. Let's go back to some Blitz games. Ananas, Nefidov, and Aldisto. Peter, you're not a subscriber, are you? Peter or Peter, depending on where you're from. Okay, Sparkle Horse versus Ananas. The beautiful pineapple girl. All right, d4. We've got to think about a way to handle his annoying opening. I have a new idea. I'm going to play knight f6. All right, we're slipping down and under the table. We're not even drunk. This is just for Ananas. The anti-fianchetto defense. anti-fianchetto. Oh, he's playing it anyway. Oh no. I could play b5, but I can also play c5 here. He's not going to allow my Blumenfeld, but b5, bishop g2, rook a7 is playable for black, isn't it? It's a bit awkward though. Now if I just play e6, I'll probably transpose back to something pretty straightforward. If I play c5, I feel like I have to go for it. We'll look it up after the game, but I'm afraid of c5 takes and not being able to get my pawn back in an efficient way. a6 doesn't do a lot of good for me in that position. I don't have like knight a6 or something like that, you know, to regain my pawn. I feel like this is basically forced. Wow, knight c3. Like, I don't care about your stinking pawn. Well, alright. Cool, man. I guess I could have played bishop b7 there as well. Come to think of it. Basically like a really bizarre... Should I really go bishop b7 now? He's threatening e5 in my face. I might have messed this up already. Maybe I really screwed up last move. Would it have helped me to go bishop b7? I'm still facing e4. Yes, because bishop b7, e4, b4. This may have been a very serious mistake taking on c4. Now what happens if I do something super bizarre like c6? Then my rook is messed up. This is not what I intended, but we'll create something totally chaotic. And hopefully Ananas will lose his or her way. Definitely don't try this at home, kids. Not really a good opening for black. I thought bishop e3 was better. Knight e2 is pretty quiet. I'm starting to have hope. It's like a really strange Slav now. Now, okay, my first thought was knight g8. But actually, how bad is knight d7? e6. Pawn takes pawn, knight f4. That's the key question, if e6 is good or not for white. I mean, I was fully prepared to play knight g8. I don't mind. We are fully prepared for whatever may happen here. The ultimate French defense. Look at this lateral rook defense. f4 coming to get me. That's fine. That's fine. You bring it. Bring it on. The ultimate Gurgenidze Karo-Khan. Whoa. Oh, he's just coming to get me. Alright, that's another one for the home team. We've got 2 pawns now. Alright, dude. h4. Yeah, man. I guess we're going for it here. Who needs development? We could just like move our rook pawn like a lobster, and we've got lateral happiness. Damn, dude. Homie just sacrificed everything. Wow. Is he calculating anything, or he's just hacking basically? How many pawns is that now? Does anybody have a count? Can I get a count, please? On the pawns, this guy has jettisoned so far. Rook e7 is okay. I like it. Just straight up. Straight up questioning. Alright, he's going to get one of his pawns back. But it's strange because Ananas was a player who was very positional. And like he's playing like a maniac lately. Like he's changed his style. Totally. He was kind of like quiet positional before. Now he's like psychopath. And he's playing a lot faster. Is it like tilt, Ananas, or you're just like changing your style? Just the lateral rook defender. Yeah, unfortunately I gave him a pawn back. That was... I didn't want to give him my h-pawn. I could have played like h3 or a lot of moves actually. Like, even in this position, is he threatening check? Yes. Well, maybe I couldn't. I guess I didn't have time. Instead of rook e7, I could have played king d7. Like, that might seriously... I didn't want to block my rook on a7. Does that seem crazy? King f7. Maybe that was it. That's also possible. It felt weird to put my king near his rook, and it's open line. So now we have a problem with our bishop on f8. But we're up 2 pawns, 3 pawns temporarily. We have a problem with the rook and the king and the bishop kind of like not coordinating properly, especially the bishop. The rook and king are not so bad. Okay, this is a weird move. I'm just so happy you didn't take another pawn. Maybe I'll play like something strange, h4, I don't know. Rook e1 just... I was happy he didn't, you know, he didn't get one of the 3 pawns back. Now it's... We could actually sack the exchange with like knight e4 and have a good game probably. But there's no hurry. The only question that remains is how the heck I'm going to get my bishop into the game. I guess I can play g6, bishop g7. Nice coordination of the white forces there. King f7. This is insane. King f7 feels a little dangerous. At some point I have like queen c5, queen b6 and c5. You can also consider other possibilities. This just looks dubious for white. Just as a matter of deciding what I want to do, everything looks good. Even e5 is possible. That's unnecessarily risky. All right, let's keep him busy basically. Threatening to take more pawns. My king can walk away over here. Can I castle? Castle. Can I get a castle check? Is this chess 960? The last time I checked, it wasn't chess 960. I'm threatening to take a fourth pawn. I'm like a pawn addict. I've eaten 3 so far, and I can't help taking another one. God, I'm like addicted. Addicted to pawns. It's so sick. I'm just addicted to taking pawns. I don't mind trading some pieces. How about my rook, my queen? That's not good. Alright. We have to be a little bit careful here. He has rook d1. No, I have knight d3. Okay. If rook d1, knight d3, we're alive, and we're up 4 pawns in the center. For each pawn, that's what the little kids in the school where I used to teach, they always say pawn. It's very hard to get them to understand you're not talking about a body of water. Sounds like pawn. Time for some green tea. Guys, I'm going to be streaming for another 45 minutes, streaming and enunciating my words as I speak. 36 viewers. We're setting a world record here. Alright, but we're having fun, man. This is a crazy game. So, bishop h5, check. In the middle of the board. Just like Emery Tate. Well, I don't know what I'm thinking about here, honestly. Whatever, man. Why don't I feel like I'm up material? Similar pawn formation to my game against Ayesta. But he actually had pawns. Unlike my opponent, now we've got the pawn shield. Hard to break through. Teflon. There was this Norwegian grandmaster, Einar Gossel. His ICC handle was Kevlar. But this is why I resign now. We're having so much fun. Oh my god, this is Teflon. What is up this game? Did anybody try b5? Whoa, where is my opening explorer? Holy crap, there's a lot of games here. Only 2 people have been brave enough. You see, my problem with c5 is d takes c5. That was not what I meant to play. I guess it's actually not a big deal, huh? I just play e6 and then b4. Stefan Juric. This is not a reason to not play a6, c5. Okay, so I should play c5. And he can play knight f3 or d5. Alright, next time we'll play c5. Alright, I'm not concerned about d takes c. I went experimental, I played b5. Only Shirazi would do that. Kamran, the crazy Iranian international master who ran out of the United States due to gambling debts. Now, Kamran borrowed money from me and actually paid back. Well, he had someone else pay me back for him, but he didn't stiff me. Bishop g2. Flumbort managed to beat him. Bishop g2, and even Shirazi didn't have the guts to play rook a7. So I played rook a7. And now knight c3. It looks like you should play e4 straight away. Similar idea, but better. So this thing is pretty dubious. Now I have to do d6. Yeah, this isn't looking really sound. I wouldn't try this in a serious game. But anyway, it was fun. Alright guys, we're going to play Aldisto and Nefedov. Crazy. Addicted to pawns. It should have been your Twitch name. Good idea. You could just make it addicted to pawn. Kind of sounds like porn. e4. Alright. What are we going to do, Nefedov? I've played too many Sicilians against you lately. Let's play the modern defense. So only Kamran would play that. But even he had the sense to play c6 instead of rook a7, which is just straight out of Weird Wednesday. On Wednesdays I do a stream where I'm purposely trying to play like strange and unusual openings. And I think this opening would have been perfect for... It would have been perfect for yesterday, basically. But I just kind of got carried away. So now Nefedov plays bishop c4. It's interesting, like this move... I'm surprised it's quite popular. But if we transition to a Pirtz, I think that bishop c4 is quite okay for black. I had a game the other day that was like a hippo. I also think white can play e5 and turn it into something like akin to the Alekhine's defense, or Alekhine defense. I don't know, Ananas, sorry man to play something so strange, but you know, you're so solid with that Catalan type of stuff. Queen e2. A professional move from Nefedov. Not allowing any kind of tricks with knight takes e4 and d5. I have the feeling that queen e2 is a good move. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. I'm a little bit worried about this. Well, I guess we castle and get the king to safety. I don't think he can do any berserk attacks here. And we'll transpose again. I think it's some kind of Alekhine's defense. After c6, e5. Or something like the Alekhine's defense. Other options, I don't really have a good idea. I don't really like bishop g4. It would trade pieces, but probably give away a valuable bishop for nothing. So I'm going to take my chances with the slightly passive setup here with c6, but it's again, after e5, knight d5, it may be a direct Alekhine's defense transposition. But in my opinion, it's not like a very good line for black. I've never liked these positions. It looks very Michael Adams-y. After e5, knight d5, I think white just has a very pleasant game. Now maybe I can do something crazy like play e5 myself. Crazy, man. A form of Pirtz defense, though this bishop is very strong here. No arguments about that. I hope this was sound. I might have missed something tactically, but I don't see it yet. My idea is, for what it's worth, to play queen d4. Knight takes e5, queen d4. Like a king's, you know, double king pawn. Get your pawn back kind of thing. Hopefully it's sound. I didn't really calculate too far. I just thought, okay, knight takes e5, queen d4. His knight is attacked. And then I play, you know, captures on e4. And maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm okay. I don't know if white doesn't have some kind of trick or something. Otherwise, he's just slightly better. It's not a great position for black. It's symmetrical, but this bishop is on a really powerful diagonal. My bishop isn't great. I normally don't really like this type of Peart's position. It's not a King's Indian. He hasn't played c4. It's much better than, say, like a symmetrical type of King's Indian position. Now the pawn is protected, so I've got to protect my own pawn, probably. This square is maybe better than e7. I don't like b3, bishop a3 type of things. But white seems a little better. He could play a5. I don't know if he should do that or not. I would like to be white here with a slight edge. All right. I don't want to give him too much space. I mean, a5 gets a little stuffy. It's getting a little stuffy after a5. It looks like kind of classic position. White's just slightly better. Now I want to play rook e8, but the question is knight g5, and I don't have rook e7 because of bishop c5 type of stuff. These two bishops, that's actually a big threat right now. So I guess we'll just have to play the obvious move. It feels like I'm playing, well, it really feels like I'm playing the Philidor. If I was a Philidor player, I guess I would be happy with this. But I'm not a Philidor player, and this doesn't feel comfortable to me. And so that's where we're at. You know, we're feeling like we're playing the Philidor, and we're not super happy about it. h6 really weakens my king side. Big time. And, you know, stuff like knight h4 could happen. Now maybe rook e8. It's like getting very Philidor-y now. Obviously f7 is extremely sensitive. We have to be prepared. But there's no more bishop c5. Oh. Nefedov offered a draw. I think he's slightly better here. But I didn't even mean to decline. I don't know. I didn't even have time to think about it. I made my move like almost like a pre-move. You can offer another draw. I don't know. Think about it. I didn't really have time to think. I just made the only move. If it wasn't a forced only move, I wouldn't have made it instantaneously. But I don't really make a lot of pre-moves. In this case, it's the only move. I mean, unless I want to play rook f8, which is bad. This is why I played knight d7, so I could play rook e7. Now f4 is unclear. f4 h6. I thought we're probably okay there. But who knows? There might be some computer-like refutation. He might be setting up the proverbial queen c4. This should go. Get going while the going is good. I'm still going to have to be careful of like knight f3, knight h4. I guess I can play knight f8. There's always some problems though with like bishop c5. This is why I don't play the Philidor. It's too tricky and too difficult. There are easier ways to live your life than playing the Philidor. Or Philidor type of Peart's defense positions. Teletumbi. Teletulumbi. Teletulumbi. Who is Lumbi anyway? Yeah, I mean, it seems like people either love or hate the Philidor. It's nothing in between. You either like think it sucks or it's like your favorite opening in the world. I guess I've always kind of thought it was sucky, but I don't really have a way to prove that it's bad. I don't find it that easy playing against the Philidor, but I find it more comfortable than most openings. So what's Nefedov thinking about so long here? He's going to sack something? He's looking for the combination? Wow. He's got queen c4. With knight b5. Well, I don't think there's any choice now. He's got knight b5 on me. Now the question is how devastating it is. I don't know. So queen c4, knight f8, knight b5, queen e7. Knight d6 doesn't work. Knight b5, queen e7, bishop c5, queen e8. No, I'm taking on b5. I'm threatening to take on b5, thank heavens. Bishop c5 takes on b5, bishop takes e7, takes on c4 is okay for me. Knight d6, bishop e6. Like so many times in the Philidor. Is he trapping my rook though? Oh God. It's like, God, it's like an engine line. He just takes everything, plays knight c7, and then bishop a7 at the end. Wins. Well, it's not that clear. I have rook a6, but it's not good for me. This is not really good. I have 3 pieces for 2 rooks, huh? But a totally destroyed structure. Okay, his e4 pawn is hanging. So it looks actually kind of unclear. We should be okay. We have 3 pieces for 2 rooks and a pawn. I mean, I don't know how okay it is, but at least it's not not over. Double threat. Impressive game by Nefedov, though. He was virtually winning. Wow, even at the end, he's better. Damn, dude. That's harsh. Like, rook a8, knight takes a5, rook takes a6. And I'm up 4 pieces for 2 rooks, but I'm worse. How sick is that? He's got 3 connected passed pawns after this. But he lost on time. Damn, dude. That's crazy. You're probably just winning. I mean, those 3 pawns are too strong. It says he made 4 mistakes, but I didn't see them. Queen c4 was a mistake. He had better bishop takes f7 check. So it's like a more accurate version. King takes, queen c4 check. God, I'm just dead now after that. Oh my God. I should never be playing the black side of Philidor-like positions. Okay, Aldistos challenged me chess 960. Bishop takes f7 check just killed me. I'm never going to play that again. How did that happen to me? This bishop c4 against the modern, I have to play differently. I'm not going to play knight f6 again. If that's the case, then we'll just play a6 and the hippo like I've done in previous games. I don't want any part of that anymore. I never want to play that kind of position again in my life. Okay. Chess 960, Aldisto, thanks for subscribing, man. Thanks for all of you guys watching, subscribing here. We're playing for another 25 minutes, probably 2 more games, and then we're out. Let's play a solid central pawn move. Aldisto, he's a regular on the stream. He has a good sense for like coordinating the pieces. I think this is the most chess 960 games. I usually draw the line at 2, but I didn't really say like a maximum number of chess 960, so we're playing this more than anything else. Wow, he's making an insane pawn sacrifice here. That can't be good. All right, I am calling you out on this. Wow, he's just gambiting a pawn straight up. Fine. Fine, be that way. All right. I think we've got the obligation to take this pawn. Think about our king safety. Where are we going to castle? Why don't we exchange some bishops? He might not allow me. You know, he could play e5. He'll probably take and play e5. He's gained some time, control the center. It's speculative, like this pawn sacrifice, but okay, for a blitz game, I think it's enough, you know, compensation to give him some play. If this was an official Chess 960 tournament, by the way, World Loser, are you still here? World Loser, I'm sorry, I didn't catch you earlier. You were talking about the European Rapid and Blitz Championship in Poland. And I didn't notice, sorry, you probably said it, but I didn't notice if you said when that tournament was. I missed it, I'm sorry. If you could repeat that. When is the, is it in Krakow? World Blitz and Rapid Championship, you said? Queen B2. Was it European Blitz and Rapid? I forget. He was talking about a tournament in Poland. Anyways, I thought before the stream maybe I could confirm. I can look it up, obviously. But a lot of the players here are European, so someone might be interested. Alright, so D6. We're getting out of here. We're getting out of here and castling. Why can't I castle? Because I changed the settings? That's weird. Why can't I castle? Am I stupid or something? Did I move something? I moved my rook. I'm an idiot. Oh my god, I'm like Lee Bo. I'm trying to castle and I moved my rook. Oh my god. I did the literal Lee Bo. You're not letting me make my illegal move. I am an idiot. Alright. I don't play that much Chess 960, so it's still kind of weird. I often do strange things. I have tried to move and you know, make illegal moves in like normal chess games too. So I don't discriminate purely against but that ruined my whole plan. My whole plan was to castle queenside. Now I have to do like Queen G7, King C1, King B2, castling by hand. He just cut me off. He cut me off at the intersection. Okay, that knight is threatening to come in here, which I'm not that happy about. I need to get my pieces out. Looks like we're okay. I know, I realized after like 2 minutes that I played Rook A1. I tried to castle for 5 times. Obviously I didn't remember I had played Rook takes A1. That was a long time ago. It was the first move. I just totally forgot. But At least I never tried to castle illegally. I tried to make 2 moves in a row in a tournament game. 2 times, actually. I get bored easily. You know, my opponent thinks for more than half an hour, and I try to make a second move. But I've never tried to castle illegally or castled illegally. It obviously happens sometimes later in games. You know, you may forget after like 20 moves that someone moved something. I guess that's how Li Bo did it. But the DGT board was like freaking out when Li Bo castled illegally, and they couldn't fix the notation of the game after that. It never made any sense. My bishop on h1 is not happy. My queen is not happy. We've got no center. I can castle, but I don't know if I want to castle kingside with all those open lines over there. All right. What are we going to do now? I need a place to put my king, a safe place for my king, but we don't really have one. Maybe I should just move my knight a second time, worry about it later. a4, a5, I suppose. Alright, this probably doesn't hurt. Throw in the old a4, the lobster. Hey, what's up, small chess players? Hello. What's up, guys? Good night. Good night to the little chess players. a4. Alright, we're going to try to play a5. Hey, Mom. What's up, Mom? Good to see you. No. That's for the chess moms out there. a4, a6. I'm actually happy to see that. That's not quite as invasive as a5. I feel good to see a6 actually. You're welcome, man. All right, so what are we gonna play? I don't know what to do. I'm totally stuck. There doesn't appear to be a really good square. Oh, man, this bishop's killing me on the long diagonal too. But g3 weakens my structure big time. There's just so many weaknesses after g3. I hate it. I can't bear to play that move. I don't know what to do. Slow castling. We'll do like there's this Ionov guy from Ukraine who plays a lot here in Hungary. He's like a guy who plays the hippopotamus every game, well, especially in Blitz, and he'll just do like the, you know, castling by hand mechanism in the hippo. We'll have to do a hippo castle basically with like king b1, king a2. I don't like my king in the center. I can't connect my rooks. Wow, this is a surprise, though. I didn't count on this move. Alright. I think that, objectively, I'm happy. You know, we have less space, and I'm actually quite happy to see a piece come off the board here. Black's king's still in the center, too. For not for long, though. Aldisto's tricky, and he likes to be sneaking in the castle moves on me sometimes. I gotta vacate the b2 square. Vacation. Well, we're still up a pawn. I could have played knight d4, man. Was that a good move? Not really. Alright. Knight d4 was nothing. He still has like kind of lasting compensation. I think now we can probably do g4, give the pawn back to simplify into a playable game, you know. I would have spent more time to find a more interesting move if I had the time, but I don't have the time, so we're just too short of time here. I'm just trying to be practical. You can't castle either. We both played rook takes a1. We gave the pawn back because I'm a fair guy. He can play queen e5, and it's probably slightly better for white. But not so much, actually. He might be okay after queen e5. How do I play that, actually? King c3. King in the center is worth 3 in the bush. I don't know. I wanted to play f4, but he's got knight takes f4. Queen e5, f4, queen takes, knight takes f4. And even there I'm okay, but I'm not winning because I lost another pawn. So he's trading queens. Rook h1 suddenly occurs to me. Drops oh. You know, I saw that, then I forgot about it. That's one of those dangerous things. The I saw it and forgot about it variation. I do that a lot. It's extremely bad. Now what? Well, basically the same thing by transposition. Damn it. He's taking all my pawns with tempo. Alright, now you got carried away. He could have taken on g4, but instead he played castles. Just takes on g4. Black has a good game. Now it's not so clear. I feel like this is slightly better for me. We may have some serious threats. We've also got like a total lockdown. Second time I've said that today. A total lockdown on the structure with threats irrelevant. He did protect his knight from being driven away. It's not irrelevant. That wasn't a fair statement. I apologize. Not fair thing to say. What am I doing? Don't know. I'm a little short of time. But we've got plans. Playing for mate. Are we playing for mate? He's had enough of that knight. I got the feeling. He's had his knight. Enough of Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight is not welcome anymore. Alright. What do we have? Still not so easy. I'm really low on time. Well, alright. We're going to keep it simple. Forget about the kingside attack. We'll take a rook ending a pawn up. I'll take a rook ending a pawn up. Alex. But still not so simple. Alex will take rook endings. It's the daily double. Could get sharp, but I don't think it's that scary. Please don't mate me. Alright guys, we have time for one last game. Starting to piss me off here. You're playing for mate? Don't do that. I think I saw this already. We got the powerful passer. Eventually is gonna advance. Alright, we're ready to play e7. And damn it, not so easy. Oh, he's taking that. He should be winning. Two rooks behind the passed pawn. I gotta believe these pawns are gonna get through. Anticlimactic capture. Chess 960. Now we know where we are. Alright. I didn't know where I was for a long time there. Now I feel safe again. Still not giving up. The way I've played this, it's understandable. What happened, Nefedov? What are you guilty of? Or am I guilty of something? Alright guys, this was a long game. I guess that's it for today. We're going to end the stream after this. It's just about quitting time. Let's shoulder as king. Everybody, all my friends have left Lichess tonight. So Aldisto, were you holding at some point or not? Wonder if I was just clearly worse. He's always down a pawn in this game. So he did have compensation. Here I wasn't sure though. It looks like he's okay. But here, unfortunately, Aldisto just simply didn't play knight takes g4, which is just like equal. I mean, I win a pawn. I mean, I lose a pawn, but I think I probably have enough compensation to draw. This was crazy though. Castled, and now it's like it's a total disaster after castling. So here I thought though, you could have played knight d8, man. I mean, it's a little bit better than knight to d4, because knight to d4 leaves me with that rook ending. That's pretty ugly. I mean, knight d8 would have been a little more tricky for me to it would have been a little more tricky. I think I would have avoided the exchange, you know, like it says with like knight f4. I mean, obviously knight g5 is like, what do I do after rook g7? See, that was the thing that was perplexing me here. You're on my g4 pawn, so I didn't see, you know, it's easy to make progress. Basically, I don't know. Look at this position. It's not so easy. The engine's like knight f4. Okay, knight f4. You have e6 even. Maybe I can take and play e7. Okay, here you're also going to be in a difficult rook ending, it looks like. So it wasn't so easy. I only made 12 inaccuracies and 1 mistake, guys. That's like half my moves. Literally, guys, that's insane. 60 moves, 12 inaccuracies, and 1 mistake. See, that's the mark of a master, though. Just lots of inaccuracies, no big mistakes. Right? Let's see. He's got 11 big mistakes and 9 inaccuracies and 1 blunder. So basically, I have lots of inaccuracies, but only small mistakes. Anyway, guys, it was fun today. We're going to be back with more Blitz and Classical Chess tomorrow morning, and that'll be at 10 a.m. CET. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks, Soltigo, for hanging out with us and moderating and keeping the trolls like troll on a roll at bay. But I want to thank you guys for being subscribers. It's awesome to have you guys help support the stream. Also, check out my YouTube channel. Hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll be able to, now that I've finished doing this like Blumenfeld video series, hopefully I'll be able to occasionally, like once a week, put up a new dedicated YouTube video. So I've got some more free time. And I have a tournament coming up, which I put in my Sparkle Horse team news. There's a Sparkle Horse team on Lichess that you guys can join. And I usually put like my news about like live tournaments and stuff. So from December 12th, I'm playing in a GM tournament here in Budapest, starting the 12th of December. It's like category 8 or something, 2450 average, and that's going to be fun. But I won't be streaming during that time for like 9 or 10 days between the 12th and the 20th of December. Anyway, guys, thanks for your support. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Also a simul on Sunday. It's 6:30 p.m. CET, and that'll be 30:30, like 2.5 hours. Does that make sense? Right. And then what else was I gonna say? I don't know. But anyway, guys, simul on Sunday, and that's it. Well, the tournament doesn't start till December 12th. December 12th, Soltigo. So we got lots of time to prepare, and it'll be fun to play like a normal tournament. I have a team game on Sunday. Wish me luck for that. I'll talk to you guys before that, though, tomorrow morning. Okay? So thanks for watching. I hope you guys had fun today, and I did too. I know I did. It was entertaining tonight. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.